Yo guys, it's Tyler from Ebb and Grow checking in. Every year in New England around Valentine's Day, when temperatures are above freezing during the day and below freezing at night, it's time to make maple syrup. Let's talk about it. The first thing you need to do is identify sugar maple trees, which can obviously be a little bit tricky when they don't have leaves. One way to do this is by their shape. If you see a tree with an oval or egg-looking symmetrical shape, chances are it probably is a sugar maple if you're living in the Northeast. Let's talk about one way to verify that. There's only 3 popular tree species that have opposite leaf arrangements: maple, ash, and dogwood. What separates sugar maples apart from the others is these small, sharp buds. Once you've identified a group of sugar maple trees in the same area, it's time to start getting sap. When tapping trees, drill a hole 2 to 2.5 inches deep into the sapwood of the tree and insert your tap. If you're a home syrup maker, simply hang a bucket underneath with a lid over it to prevent any critters or debris from getting in. If you're looking to harvest larger amounts of sap, you're going to need to use sap tubing. Start by hanging your tubing in an area with plenty of sugar maples. Ideally, you want this area to have a nice slope to it so your sap can gravity feed into a collection tank. Make sure the line is close to many sugar maple trees where you'll be hanging your drops. Drops are tubing assemblies composed of a plastic spout and a tube connecting fitting. Always have ample drops made ahead of time when you're installing sap tubing. To make a drop, you simply use this maple drop line tool to insert the fittings into either end of the tubing. Make your way along the sap line and cut it next to sugar maple trees that you want to tap. Insert the tube connecting fitting onto the main line using the two-handed tool. Then use the same procedure as before to insert the plastic spout into the tree and watch the sap go to your collection tank. Once you've collected your sap, it's time to boil. This evaporator is gravity fed by these 2 40-gallon drums, which will make about 2 gallons of syrup. Once the sap reaches the evaporator, its flow is regulated by a series of float switches until it reaches the wood-fired pans. As water is evaporated and the sugars caramelize, the sap will start to turn brown. But how can you tell when it's actually syrup? There's a few ways. One is the sheet test. This is a by eye method which many syrup makers swear by. Simply allow your boiling syrup to drip off of a utensil. It will first come off in drips, but eventually will start to come off in small sheets. It's close to syrup at this point. The most accurate way to tell is to use a maple syrup hydrometer, which will verify the density of your syrup at both boiling and room temperature. Once it lines up, go ahead and bottle it. This process is a lot of work, but definitely reaps a great reward. Get out there and make some maple syrup of your own.